Ren from Hallowed Be Thy Game, and today we're going to be looking at 10 overpriced Nintendo Switch JRPGs. Let's check it out. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Hallowed Be Thy Game, and I hope you brought a pillow to cry into because today we are going to be looking at the forbidden fruit. Yes, that is sadly the JRPGs that have skyrocketed in value and now have become so overpriced it's painful to pick up. For today's video, these are just the standard editions of the games. I don't have any collector's editions factored into this. I know some of those are even rarer and more painful, but there's no collector's editions, and I went ahead and removed anything that only had an exclusive physical release through limited run games, because, I mean, let's just be honest, as cool as that service is, all those games become just scalped extremely after the original run of that, so it kind of goes without saying. And also I want to mention that the pricing I'm using here is the lowest to kind of the middle of the ground range on eBay for the pricing. There's always those rare outliers that are like double, triple the price, but I tried to keep it as realistic if I was looking to purchase these at the lowest possible price on eBay from good sellers and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get to number 10. Savior of Sapphire Wings / Stranger of Sword City. Now this is a double pack standard edition. It runs about $70 to $80 on eBay. And honestly, from what I can see, this is a pretty solid first-person dungeon crawling game, and that always seems to be kind of a common theme. These first-person dungeon crawlers, they have really beautiful art, music, they have solid or serviceable gameplay mechanics. I've never personally played this one, but I'm going to be honest, this is one that I kind of would like to check out, but not at this price range. I do like the animations and the effects. I think it's a very pretty looking first-person dungeon crawler. Have you played it, or do you own this game? Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments. I'd love to know if this is something worth picking up. Number 9, Demon Gaze Extra, $70 to $85 on eBay. Now this is actually one I've played, but on the PS Vita. Demon Gaze 1 and 2 is excellent, and I did read that there was a little bit of controversy over these Switch ports, but it seemed kind of minor for the most part. However, I can verify that these are really good first-person dungeon crawlers. If you're into this genre, these are definitely worth checking out. But unfortunately, I can't recommend people just spend this much on a standard edition, in good faith. Everybody's situation's different, but again, if you're open to the genre, this has really lovable characters. The combat mechanics are really fun and serviceable. This is a solid game. I just think it's a shame that it's become so expensive now. Maybe some of these will get another reprint. And every once in a while, I find that some of these games are being sold on some random website that I couldn't find. Just the other day, I was looking at Remy Lore, and it turns out that it's still being sold on Nicalis' website. So for any of the games on today's list, if you know of some random trustworthy vendor that's selling these, please let people know, because Demon Gaze is definitely worth playing. Number 8. Brigandine, and it runs $70 to $95 on eBay. Now this is one I sadly have not been able to play. This did have an original limited run games release. However, I do see where it has been published and sold elsewhere, which is why it's on today's list. I don't know what it was. I remember seeing this on limited run. I thought about picking up, but I talked myself out of it because I wasn't completely sold on the aesthetic, and I'm kicking myself now because this looks like a really fun game, and I've actually heard that it is really fun. And then that's what kind of sucks sometimes with some of these more obscure releases, because you want to play them, you want to invest your time in them, but it's kind of like just taking a big chance when you have to wait so long to play them if you're wanting to pick them up physically. Again, this is only a physical gamer's problems, I get that, but anyways, have you played Brigandine? Would you recommend it? Let people know down in the comments. Number 7, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna the Golden Country. Now this is looking like it's going for at least $85 plus on eBay. This was one that completely baffled me because for the longest time you could pick up this game anywhere, and then once Pyra and Mythic got added to Smash, suddenly Xenoblade 2 shot up pretty good, but Torna the Golden Country at one time was even way higher than this. I was actually shocked to see it come down some. I'm sure it fluctuates back and forth. And what really sucks about this is this game's freaking awesome. It honestly took one of my favorite games of all time and improved the combat system even more. I'm hoping Xenoblade 3 kind of incorporates the faster pace and the simplification of combat mechanics that was added with Torna. And it just really bites because, I see a lot of people who still want to play this game. I think they should play this game because it is that good. Because, sometimes when a game is rare, it doesn't mean it's good. And that's what really blows about Torna the Golden Country is I know so many physical game collectors want to play it, and it's really expensive right now. So, I know online with Wario64, if you follow that Twitter account, he will post when this game randomly gets, more copies put up at different locations, but they go quick. But Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna the Golden Country, have you played it? Would you recommend it to other people? Am I just a crazy person for loving it so much? Let people know down in the comments. Number 6, Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force. On eBay, this runs from anywhere around $95 to $120. This is a game that I've always heard of, but I missed the boat on this one so hard. What really stinks about this is that this game looks like something I would really enjoy. It kind of has the presentation of like the Trails of Cold Steel formula, but it kind of looks like an action RPG, which is right up my alley. I might actually cave and pick this one up digitally, just because, man, that $120 price tag is too rich for my blood. The character animations model looks good. The story seems like it's okay. I haven't really heard a lot of complaints about this game. It's definitely something I hate that I missed out on. Have you played Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force? Is it something worth picking up? Heck, would you say it's worth $120? Let me know down in the comments. Number 5, The Lost Child. On eBay, this runs about $90 to $120. And this is one I actually had the opportunity to pick up, and I talked myself out of it. And this is why time travel isn't real, because I would have went back in time and slapped myself for not picking this up. It looks quirky. It looks like a fun first-person dungeon crawler. And apparently I hear it's kind of a holiday-themed game. I don't know what that means. I haven't watched a ton of reviews on this, but the gameplay looks fun. I am a sucker for, good character art, serviceable combat mechanics, and just a cute aesthetic. And this is hitting all the right boxes for me. The Lost Child looks like something that I would definitely have had a lot of fun playing. Have you played it though? Is it something that you would say is worth the investment? Because, I can't help but think that either we're about to see games drop in price or they're going to just keep creeping up for a little while longer. Because honestly, the growth on some of these games just doesn't look like it's slowing down. Anyways, let me know what you think of it down in the comments. Number 4, Attack on Titan 2. On eBay, this runs about $95 and up. This is one that it kind of jumps around. It appears all over the place. This is a game that looks really fun, and I had no idea this game existed till about like 3 weeks ago. And it's just the curse of really good games that are anime tie-ins. They usually get a low print run, and by the time fans or even the general populace finds out about them, they're already scalped and on eBay. Anyways, I'm mourning the loss of missing out on this one a lot because the action combat to this, I'm a sucker for action RPGs, as you well know, and some of you have complained about in the comments, but hey, that's okay. I am a sucker for action RPGs. I'm crazy for them. This is one that definitely looks like I could have a lot of fun with, but not at, $100 price range. Anyways, do you own this game? I'm curious if anybody watching owns some of these really rare games physically. I own a few of these, and I'll let you know what they are, but again, is Attack on Titan 2 fun to play? Should you look to pick it up digitally? Let me know down in the comments. Number 3, Knights of Azure 2. On eBay, this is running anywhere from $75 to about $100 price range. Now, I featured this game in my games to pick up on the PS4 that are still affordable because this one is rising quickly on there. And unfortunately on Switch, it just has blasted through the roof. This is actually where I beat it. I bought this game on a whim, I think as on a recommendation from like Eric Landon video or something like that. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. However, I will say this, without question, I'm not trying to hate bait. This is one of the worst ports of a game on the Switch I've ever played in my life. It honestly hurt my brain to play it sometimes because sometimes the button mapping follows a Switch button layout. Sometimes it switches back to a PS4 controller button layout. Hard crashes frequently in the home screen. I think I tallied in about 3 hours plus of lost game time because I would just forget to save when I got back to the home base, and that's where you would hard crash a lot. Despite all that, just like a really good B movie that you love to hate, I honestly love this game. It is totally worth playing. The PlayStation version runs so much better than this. It's a great game, but it's a terrible port to the Switch, and it is absolutely not worth this price point that it's at on Switch right now, which sucks. I hope they maybe port the first one to the Switch eventually and just, clean it up a little bit. But I think it's probably just a sacrifice on the altar of rush deadlines and such like that. But anyways, Knights of Azure 2. Have you played it on Switch? Am I being unfair? Let people know down in the comments. Number 2, Ys 8. On eBay, it's running from about $70 to $100 plus. Now, there was a little bit of confusion I had because they still sell this game on NIS Falcom's website, but I can only see the PlayStation 4 copies still printed. And it appears that for whatever reason, they didn't reprint more or sell more of the Nintendo Switch copies. And from what I can tell, they're skyrocketing through the roof. If you know of a place that's still physically selling Ys 8, let people know down in the comments. I'm more than happy to just eat crow on this and say, hey, it's being sold elsewhere. I personally could not find it. It goes without saying, this is an excellent port. It's a friggin' amazing video game. This made me fall in love with the Ys series, which is now one of my favorite action RPGs. This is the perfect place to play Ys 8. It's excellent. You have fantastic characters, hilarious dialogue. Exploring the island is phenomenal. The characters are immediately iconic for me. There's a reason so many people love Dana from this game. And then on top of that, the soundtrack for this is still my favorite from the entire Ys series. But how about you? Have you played Ys 8? If you have you played it on Switch? What did you think of it? Should people look at picking this up digitally? What do you think of Ys 8? Let people know down in the comments. Number 1, Code of Princess EX. On eBay, this is running $120 plus. Spoiler alert, this is actually the game that caused me to want to make this list because I bought this game on a whim, like from Amazon, on like just a blowout sale. It is fun to play. This is a great, I had a lot of fun with this port. I think it's good. This is also on the 3DS, which is also extremely hard to get and skyrocketing in price. I think it's great. I mean, you have extremely iconic characters. They've won the hearts of many a fan over, if you get what I'm saying. But I was just blown away that this game is so absurdly priced right now. Is it worth $120? No, I don't think any game really is, unless you're like talking about like some of the absolute rarest and coolest games of all time. It is a good game, and it just sucks that it's so wildly overpriced. And this, to me, kind of just throws a big bucket on my hype about like kind of the future of physical game collecting. Honestly, it just kind of shows that like at times if you don't get a game when it releases, you're running the risk of a situation like this happening, and it just blows. I mean, there's really no way around it. It sucks, but hey, we can all have a good cry together. I happened to luck out and randomly purchased this one when it first released. However, there's a ton on this list I really wish I had, and I just have to kind of come to the terms that, like, yeah, if I'm going to play this, it's going to be digitally. Anyways, those are just the woes of this physical JRPG Switch collector and gamer. I love JRPGs. I love playing them physically, and this is just, kind of the nature of the beast. But do you own any games that were on today's list? Were you surprised by any of the prices? Let people know what you think some extremely rare, expensive JRPGs are down in the comments. I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing the community's responses to that. Anyways, thank you so much for liking and subscribing. The channel growth and the support has just been extremely awesome. It's been so much fun to kind of nerd out with you all. But what helps at the channel even more is just sharing your thoughts down in the comments. It's so fun to just kind of interact with you guys. I hope you all have a phenomenal week, and I will see you all next time.